Hey, thanks for coming on our quick podcast. Today we're going to talk about, are you losing referrals? And I think the first thing I always say is imagine a consumer is being referred to you and another local agent. And this happens all the time now online, especially on Facebook. If you're a member of any local groups, you'll always see somebody who says, "Hey, my cousin's turning 65 in a few months. Is there anyone that you know who can help?" And then there'll be three or four people who will, go on and message and say, "You should work with Cindy Smith," or "You should work with Bob Thomas." And my point is those consumers are getting those people's names as referrals. And, I have no doubt that they're going on to Google and they're doing a little diligence on, those agents to see which one they should go with. And, in my opinion, in 2025, you've got to have a Google business listing that's certified, that shows you're a local business. You've got to have a website for your Medicare and insurance business. You really need to have testimonials from people who you've gotten to the finish line. It really helps to have an active social media presence to show that you know what you're talking about and every day you're in this business. And most importantly, there needs to be consistency that they find out there. Too many agents, when they Google themselves, they'll have one thing that says they do real estate. They'll have one thing that says they do life insurance. They'll have one thing that says Medicare. Got to find a way to kind of get it all together so it's the same message. And, if you look at this one sample that comes up for an agent, you can see, look, she's got a Google business listing with 54 five-star reviews. She has a website. She has a social media presence. Again, I can't stress enough that this is what's happening. People are referring you and you're up against another agent, and, you just might not be getting that phone call because you're not presenting very well online. And, I always kind of use the example of getting a roof. Imagine you were going to get a roof, obviously very expensive, maybe $25,000. You go to your neighbors and say, "Who did your roof?" And you might get one or two or three different companies. Then you're probably going to go online and Google those roofing companies and see if there's any complaints against them and see if there's good reviews about them. Obviously, if one of those roofing companies, nothing comes up, there's no website, no reviews, I think the choice is going to be pretty easy. You're not going to choose that company. And it goes the same for yourself. So, my suggestion is if you've gotten to the point here where you feel like you're not getting as many referrals as you should, and you don't have a website, you don't have a social media presence, check out snoozy.com. That's what we do. We work specifically with independent insurance agents. We're very versed on CMS compliance, and, we can kind of help you put a plan together so that when people are referring you, you present just as well as when you sit next to them, at the coffee shop. Thanks again, and hopefully next week's podcast is helpful as well.